Today, I'm going to show you how to build your very first AI agents in N8N. This is part 2 of my beginner series, building your very first AI automation in N8N. And just to recap what we talked about last time, this top row you can see here, that was building our very first AI automation a couple days ago. And remember that it researched a topic, it created a carousel or video using Blotato, and then it posted it to Instagram completely automatically. Now, this workflow, you can tell, is a straight line. It's a step-by-step linear process. When you click execute workflow to trigger this, then the next step happens. In this case, this is fetching a TikTok transcript. Okay, then it's summarizing it into 5 bullet points for an Instagram carousel. It's going to create that visual, get the visual when it's complete, and then post to Instagram, which is the last step here. And now what's really interesting is we can actually do the exact same thing, but with an AI agent. And there are trade-offs in terms of when you would want to use a linear workflow versus when you would want to use an AI agent. But the best way to understand this is to dive in and try it out yourself. Okay, so in this video, we're going to build essentially functionally the same exact workflow as before, but using N8N's very powerful node called the AI agents. And we're going to build it from scratch. So this is our end state of what it'll look like. And so let's start building it. Okay, so click the plus icon here to add a node. Click AI. You can see all of these different AI nodes here. Click AI agent. Okay, and this is our AI agent node. And there are 2 ways to activate it. You can connect it to a chat trigger, meaning you can talk back and forth with your AI agent, or you can manually define a prompt here. So every time this agent is called, it will run the exact same prompt. In Arc, for this particular workflow, I wanted to show you a chat-like interface. So keep it this connected chat trigger node. Okay, so we have that. And just philosophically, what is an AI agent? You can think of it as an autonomous program that decides what to do in real time. So an agent is presented with a situation and some data, and then it dynamically creates a plan to complete whatever objective you gave it. So if your objective is create a carousel and post to Instagram, it's going to figure out what should I do right now to accomplish this task, and what tools do I have access to help me accomplish this task. If you remember from my previous video, I showed you a very complicated looking AI support agent, and essentially what it's doing is taking a customer's request, which could cover all kinds of different topics, and then at runtime, when the AI agent gets that customer support ticket, it creates a plan to resolve that customer's specific issue. And it might involve billing, it might involve debugging an API call, it might involve basic questions about AI credits or something like that, but the AI agent decides dynamically on the spot what should be the plan to accomplish the task and what tools can help me accomplish my plan. Okay, so here's our AI agent node, and you can see it has a couple different things here. The chat model is required, so this is basically the LLM or AI model powering your AI agent's brain. So in this case, I think most people will probably have an OpenAI account, so click plus, and then type OpenAI chat model, okay? Click that, and connect your credential. Now, if you don't have an OpenAI account, you're gonna wanna click create new credential, and you're gonna paste your API key here. So to get that, go to platform.openai.com. The best way to explain this is you need 2 separate OpenAI accounts, one for your normal ChatGPT use and a second account for your API use. So go to this URL, platform.openai.com, if you don't already have an API account. Just click get started here. You'll have to sign up. You'll have to connect your billing, so connect some kind of credit card in order to be able to use OpenAI ChatGPT within your automations, okay? So once you sign up, look for wherever it says your API key. Connect your credit card and then go to settings to copy and paste your API key and then paste it right here, okay? And then click save, and that will be your OpenAI account. Honestly, you're gonna wanna do that anyway because you're gonna frequently use OpenAI in automation, so it's just good to set up that API account anyway. And then from the model list, you can choose all of these different models. I think here, I just went with ChatGPT 5.2, okay? So that's how you choose the different models. The next thing we'll want to do is have some kind of trigger. So how do we communicate with our AI agent? So click the plus button and then here, add another trigger. Okay, let's do on chat message. Okay, so only one chat trigger node is allowed in a workflow and we already have one. So I'm just going to move this one I already have and just move it down here. If you're building this out alongside me, you'll be able to just add it directly and make sure you connect them. Okay, let's open this up. So basically what this means is you will be able to chat with your AI agent and have it do useful things. Just make sure response to the mode is when last node finishes. All this means is like your AI agent is going to think about stuff, do stuff, and then when it's done, it's going to send you a reply of what it did. And if you want to make this chat publicly available, for example, let's say you want your team to be able to talk to your AI agent to make visuals and carousels and post them on social media, then you'll want to toggle this on. Okay, so now we have our chat, we have our AI agent. The second thing I want to add is optional. You don't have to add this all the time to your AI agent, but when you're building a conversational chat agent, you almost always want it to have memory. Otherwise, like your AI agent completely forgets what you say every sentence. That's not super useful. When you're building a conversational AI agent, when the trigger is a chat message, you will almost always want memory associated with your AI agent. So click memory. And let's just do simple memory. So this will store the memory in N8N, so you don't have to set anything else up, okay? And then context window length. So this is like how long you want your agent to remember your conversation. I would set it to something high-ish, like 15, 20, 30, if you're going to be having a lot of back and forth conversations, okay? And then this third thing, tool, we'll get into that in a second. But again, you can think of an agent philosophically as like it has some kind of goal or objective. Okay. And then it's triggered and then it looks at its situation, it looks at its objective and creates a plan. And then it also looks at what tools it has access to. Our ChatGPT is our AI agent's brain. It has simple memory. So the AI agent can reflect on the past couple of things we talked about. Based on that, what should I do next? And then we're going to hook up tools. But before we hook up tools, I want you to start playing around with your AI agent and so you can learn how to test it out. Okay. So here, click open chat. Okay. And down here, this is going to open basically a chat session so you can talk to your AI agent. I'm just going to reset my chat session here. Yours should look blank like this. So all you have to do now is send a message and that will trigger the chat workflow. So say, what can you do? And you can pretty much type any message. You can see our AI agent's brain is whirring. It's calling OpenAI, and it replied, I can help you do all of these different things. And to see what's happening, you can click the logs here. And in this middle section here, this is like your log. So what is happening? When the chat message was received, here was the chat input. What can you do? And oftentimes for testing purposes, you'll want to reset your chat and clear the memory so you can see what your AI agents would actually do. But yeah, so this is a simple way of how to test it. Okay. So now what we're going to do is empower our AI agent with tools. And this is really what makes an AI agent super useful. I'm going to minimize this real quick. Okay, so you can click this arrow to just minimize the chat. And let's just talk really quick about this AI agent compared to the workflow here. Like I keep saying, like an AI agent philosophically is different from a hard-coded workflow. So if you think about this hard-coded workflow, it's going to do the same thing every single time. When you start it, it's going to first create a source, meaning grab the transcript from a TikTok video. Then it's going to go ahead and create that carousel or video, and then it's going to post it to Instagram. It's always going to be exactly the same in this exact order every single time. It's going to use this exact template for creating the visual every single time. And so it is deterministic, you know exactly what to expect. It's highly reliable. There's not many failure points here, unless I guess if you run out of credits generating images and videos and stuff. An AI agent philosophically is very different. They're really great for situations that are non-deterministic, meaning you could get a whole variety of inputs and the correct answer could be a whole variety of different things. And so that's why the AI agent dynamically plans what to do to accomplish its task based on the specific information it has at hand and the tools it has access to and the memory it has access to. And so this agent is not linear, meaning you could chat with this AI agent and you could say, hey, research this topic, OpenClaw versus Claude Code. And then you could say, make me one carousel. And then you could say, make me a second carousel. And then you could say, make me a third carousel. And so it's going to make you 3 carousels without posting to Instagram. Or you could just talk to it without doing any video generation or carousel generation or social media publishing. You could say, hey, let's just research this particular topic, go back and forth, just like a conversation multiple times. And then once you're happy with the result of your research and conversation, then now let's summarize everything into a carousel. And so you can have all of these different pathways or steps taken by the AI agent that aren't necessarily the same thing every single time. Whereas a workflow, it's going to be the same thing in this order every single time. So you get high reliability, it's deterministic, you know exactly what to expect. But the downside of workflows is they're not flexible. Whereas an AI agent can be a bit more flexible. Like it could make 3 carousels, show them to you, then you decide which one to post to Instagram. Whereas in this workflow, it's just gonna blast through the entire process without getting your input. It's just going to research the topic. It's going to create the carousel. It's going to post it. It's not going to create 3 versions, ask you for your feedback, which one you want to post, and then post it. But you actually can do that with the AI agent. And so philosophically, like the big difference between a workflow and an agent is workflows, you have to code all the paths you want. So if you have a bunch of different branches or situations that could happen in a traditional workflow without AI, you'd have to like hard code each possible scenario that you want to happen. With an AI agent, it can more flexibly adapt to different scenarios and decide what to do. Okay, so yeah, let's see it in action by adding some of these tools. So to add a tool, just click plus. And it's just like creating a node, so Blotato tool. So everything you can do in a node, you can also do in the Blotato tool. So in this case, we'll do create source, and we'll let AI fill out the source, okay? And all we're doing here is just copying all the tools that we had before. So click source, get source. And by the way, this, I didn't explain this, okay. And you might have seen in the other tool as well, I clicked this star button. So what this means is the AI agent is going to fill out this field. So if the AI agent decides to create a source and get the source, it's going to fill out the URL it's going to fetch, and it's going to get it as well by passing in the source ID from the previous step. I'm just going to change my credential here, not local. Okay. Same thing for create a visual. Let me change my brand. And I personally like to choose exactly which templates that my AI agent will get access to. But the prompt, I leave that entirely to the AI agent to fill out based on our discussion, okay? The reason why I like to have a little bit of control over which templates is because there are just certain templates I like more than others. So for example, this one's gonna be a quote card. You can create multiple tools and say, this one's going to be quote card template. The other one is going to be faceless video template, right? So it just has 2 separate tools, one specifically for one specific carousel template, and the other one is for a specific video template. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep adding tools. So the next one is to get the video that we've created. So resource video, get the visual. And again, I'm going to let AI fill out this parameter. And this is one of the really cool things about AI agents. Like it can intelligently fill in all of these parameters so you don't have to code them in like we did here, right? So if you compare here, it's like we put in a URL, we grab the ID from the previous step. You have to make sure that is coded correctly. The prompt, we're also grabbing it from the previous step, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas here, the AI agent can actually just fill out these parameters. And then the last step will be, actually posting to social media. So resource post, create Instagram. And then here you probably want to choose exactly which account to post to. So just have a little bit of control, but you can let AI define the carousel or video caption. So this text field, and then you can let AI pass in the media URL as well. For testing purposes, I do recommend either scheduling something in advance. So scheduled time, we'll schedule it for the future, or next free slot if you have that set up in Blotato already. Okay, so click save. And the last thing I'm going to do is just rename the tool calls. So you want to be clear in what each tool can do, because that's how the AI agent decides which tools to use. So if the AI agent comes up with a plan and is, oh, okay, I need to post to Instagram, how do I do that? The clearer your tool name, then it knows it can use that tool to accomplish the task. It's going to look for a tool. Oh, there's a tool called post to Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and use that tool to post to Instagram. And so I'm going to rename this. So this one, and obviously if you're posting to a different social platform, you could say post to TikTok, post to LinkedIn, okay? I'm just gonna shorten this to get visual, okay? And then I would personally rename this to the template that it creates. So this is like a tweet card carousel. If you want a different template, I would just duplicate this. So you can right click, duplicate this, choose the template you want. So let's say you want a faceless video. So that would be this, create scenes with images, videos, blah. Okay. Actually, I want to do this, create engaging slideshow. This is another one of my favorite templates as well. So I'm going to rename this. So this is a visual. I'm going to say AI image carousel. Okay. I'm just going to clean up the name here, get source, and then create source just so it's short. Okay. And you can click this broom to tidy up the workflow. Okay. So now it's going to be nice and neat here. I don't like how long that is though. So I'll bring that back. Okay. Click save up here in the top right. Okay. I'm trying to think anything else they need to set up. I think that's it for now. Okay. I'm just going to move this a little bit because the names are blocking. So we have two different templates here. Create visual. Okay. So let's save that. And then let's go ahead and open up the chat to test it out. So click the up arrow or press L. I'm going to clear execution data. Okay. And reset chat session so we can start from scratch. Okay. What is the topic? Okay. So just pretend you're chatting with an AI. So just pretend you're chatting like with ChatGPT. You might start with something vague. I want to create, or like, I want to research the top 5 most important tips for skiers in icy conditions or something. Okay. Again, just like you're chatting with ChatGPT, now our AI agent is thinking. It's using ChatGPT as its brain, and it's going to help us research the top 5 most important tips for skiers in icy conditions. And you can check everything here. So this is the logs. This is the input, right? Okay. This is the output. Okay. And these are the skills. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty long. Let's summarize into 5 simple bullet points, then create, let's start with a short one. And then create a tweet card carousel with Blotato. So now I'm going to take its research, which was pretty long. So it gave us a very detailed list of tips. Okay, that looks good. Let's summarize it into 5 bullet points, then create a tweet card carousel. So you can see here, this actually turned green, which means the AI agent used this tool. So you can also see it in the logs here. It called create visual tweet card carousel. Here was I'll pull this up so it's a bit easier to see, guys. Here was the prompt that it fed into the Blotato API call. And here's the output. So the status is queuing. So that makes sense. It takes some time to generate the carousel. And here in the left side, the chat replied, here are the 5 bullet points, and the tweet card carousel is generating now. And here's the ID. So one easy way to debug this is to go to Blotato, my.blotato.com/video editor, paste in the ID. Now, if you have Blotato open, it's actually going to automatically refresh. Okay. And so you can see the carousel instantly. But let's try it actually. Be like, actually, I don't like that template. Let's use the AI image carousel instead. Okay. So now our AI agent is going to reflect on its past conversations, okay? And it actually selected now the carousel that I wanted. So the AI image carousel. It gave us the ID and it gave us the status. It also asked if we wanted 6 slides, title plus 5 tips, or 5 slides only. Now it already started generating it, so I'm just gonna keep what it has, okay? Since I've used this template, I know this particular template's going to take a little bit more time to generate. Yeah, so let's say you don't like that initial template, the tweet card carousel. So let's rerun it with the AI image carousel instead. So let's say, actually, I don't like that template. Let's use the AI image carousel instead. And then our chatbot said, okay, done, switch to an AI image carousel and started generation. And here's the visual ID. And the status is queuing. Okay, so here, and there are helpful links as well here. So if you click /videos, you'll actually head directly to the video creation page where you can also check out different templates and stuff. But yeah, head over to videos and click on the draft that's being generated. And it will take some time because it's going to generate the script and then generate AI images for each scene in the carousel. Okay. But yeah, once that's done, then we can ask the AI chatbot to retrieve it. Okay, so here is our carousel. So here's our carousel preview, but it's still rendering, as you can see here in the top right corner. So we won't be able to actually use this yet. We have to wait about 30 more seconds. So this template does take a little bit longer. But one thing you can do in the meantime is ask the AI agent to check. So you can literally be like, is it done yet? And so it's going to try to get the visual. And then that failed. Okay, I can't check the status from here right now. My attempt failed due to authorization credential errors. That is because I forgot to change this to my actual Blotato API. Okay, so hit that, click save. Okay, so I'll say check again. And okay, now it is getting the visual and the status is done. So it created that video. I forgot that this template is actually a video and not a carousel. So I am going to... I might want to rename this to AI image video. Okay. So the AI image video, and here's the URL, by the way. So when we asked to check again, it said the status is done and it gave us the media URL. So you can copy this and paste it to actually see a preview of the video. And I don't know if you can hear this, but there is also an AI voiceover on top of this video. And it is synced to the text that's on the video. Okay, cool. Okay, and then the last step is, so I'll say great, and then the last step is just to post it to Instagram, which is this tool call over here. So I'm going to say great, post to Instagram. And so you can tell already, like, the interaction with the AI agent is a lot more flexible than the workflow, but that has pros and cons. Like, sometimes you just want the same thing to run without any surprises, right? You like, this is the exact order of things. This is exactly what should happen every single time. Whereas with the AI agent, it's a bit more flexible. Like, you actually can have a long conversation with the agent. Like, you can tweak the carousel or script before it goes to generate the assets. And then you can just be like, okay, use this template, go, post it to Instagram, boom. And you can just casually say that and it will do it. Okay, and let's see, it should be posted to Instagram. It takes about 45 seconds to post it. Let me check my profile. At least I think I posted it to my Instagram. Okay, yeah, post submission ID. The other thing I will point out to check like the status of things is in Blotato, you can go to your API dashboard and you can see the status of different things. So we can see here, it's currently processing my post for Instagram. And if you click on it, you can expand and see the entire request payload and the response payload. So this is super, super helpful for debugging purposes. And you can see the reel posted right here, top 5 tips for skiing. And when I expand the reel, you can see the video here. You can play it with audio. Here is the nicely formatted caption with relevant hashtags as well. So just to recap everything we've talked about, we initially started with the last video, building your very first workflow, which is a straight line. And this is still a super useful skill. In many cases, you want a highly reliable workflow with no surprises. Okay. But today we built our very first AI agent, conceptually doing the same thing as the workflow, but the way you interact with it can be much more flexible. You can take a couple turns back and forth, iterating on the topic, iterating on the text content you want to be populated in your carousel or video. You can attach different templates, visual templates to your agent, and it will use the one that you want to use, or you can have it randomly pick, right? So in this example, I only set it up with these two templates, but you could imagine creating a third tool call, a fourth tool call, and of your favorite visual templates, and then tell the AI agent, hey, I want to use the tweet card carousel for this topic, or I want to create a faceless video for this topic, and you can have that conversation back and forth. The only thing that is a little bit annoying with the AI agent is waiting for the visual to be completed and then posting to Instagram. I would probably move that part to a workflow that happens right after the AI agent finishes its thinking and generation process. But it's really cool to see that you can actually just take an AI agent, hook it up to ChatGPT, simple memory, and a bunch of tool calls. And then based on whatever you tell it to do through chat, the AI agent will, to the best of its ability, decide which tools to use and try to accomplish the task or request that you gave it. And I wouldn't say this is necessarily the best version of this workflow, like the most reliable, the most robust, but the purpose of this exercise is to show you how to essentially accomplish the same thing, but with an AI agent as the brain orchestrating the different steps and tool calls. In fact, another thing you could do is hook up multiple social media posting here. So let's say we duplicate posting to Instagram. So it fell over here. Let's say this is also hooked up to LinkedIn, okay? And we hook it up as a tool call. So now when you chat with your AI agent, the AI agent will be like, where do you want to post this to? You could say, everywhere. So I'm going to rename this actually to LinkedIn so we don't get confused. You could say, hey, I want to post it to all my platforms that you have connected. So it'll post to Instagram, it'll post to LinkedIn. Or you could say just LinkedIn. It's going to only post to LinkedIn. Or you could say just Instagram and it's only going to post to Instagram. You could hook up another tool like Google Drive or Airtable and say, just store it in Google Drive or Airtable and I want someone else on my team or my client to do a human review before we post it. So there are many tools you can hook up here. And again, you just are chatting with your AI agent to accomplish this task. And so it's significantly more flexible and adaptable than just like a linear workflow like this, but you do lose a little bit of like reliability and predictability, right? That's one of the really nice things about a linear step-by-step workflow like this. It's very easy to reason about. It's simpler to debug. You know exactly what's supposed to happen at each of these steps. Whereas the AI agent, if you gave it an instruction that's confusing, it might choose the wrong tools to use. It might not figure out the correct plan to answer your question or resolve your request. So both of these skills are very handy. There are situations where you're going to want to build that predictable linear workflow, and there are situations where you're going to want a more flexible AI agent that can adapt dynamically and decide which tool calls make the most sense for a given situation. And so this second tutorial is really to give you that exercise of taking the exact same thing we built in the first video, but building it now with an AI agent and like seeing the difference in how you interact with it. And in case you're wondering, like if you wanted to deploy this AI agent, you can click Open Chat here. Oh, actually, that's wrong. If you want to deploy this AI agent and chat with it from wherever, you can open this node, make it publicly accessible, and then this is your chat URL. Like you can share this with your team, etc. Obviously, you can hook this up to other types of chat platforms such as Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, Slack, etc. But here I'm just showing kind of the easiest possible thing you can build without signing up for many other tools. And so that's another cool thing. Like we have only been using two tools so far, N8N itself, obviously, and Blotato. And then we just added OpenAI just now. Okay, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps clarify the difference between a strict step-by-step rigid workflow, which is great, but it's rigid, versus an AI agent, which is flexible, adaptable, figures out dynamically what to do, but you lose a bit of that predictability and reliability because sometimes it could choose to do the wrong things or things you didn't expect it to do. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you watch the rest of this series. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about building AI agents and AI automations in N8N.